All right. Hey guys, welcome to our first team call of February. I hope everyone is doing awesome. There's Kristen. Okay, good. So a couple reminders. Let's talk to Nancy. She's already hit Success Club. She's talking about what a relief that is to have it done in the beginning of the month. Get out there, hit Success Club, invite you guys. If you don't invite, there's no way they're going to know about it. And this All Access Challenge Pack is going to go up next month. There's no way that it's not going to. So take full advantage of that this month. Talk to all of your previous customers. Even if you have a previous customer that bought a challenge pack, if they buy the all access one, you're still going to get 1 point. So make sure you're converting people to that and really doing all that. And then for any new coaches, if you have people that have bought challenge packs in the past, make sure you're following up with them and converting them to a preferred customer so that they can get the discount on Shakeology as well, so that people can rank. Because obviously you get points for Team Cup for rank advancements, Success Club, and so we really want to be hitting it hard and really pushing ourselves. I know it's awkward and it's outside of our comfort zone to do a lot of these things. It is for me too. And hopefully Kristen's going to give us some tips tonight on how to get uncomfortable. But that's what we have to do, right? We have to let people know that we're here to help them. So anything else? I don't think so. So tonight, Kristen is going to talk to us. I don't know if everybody knows her. I think everybody knows her that's on here. Kristen is a 2-star diamond coach. She's a mama of 2 little ones. She lives down the street. We kind of started this business together. So we've been together since the beginning. And she is going to talk to us tonight about getting uncomfortable, which is so important and so hard to do sometimes. So make sure you get ready to take notes and pay attention. And take it away, girlfriend.
All right, thanks. Okay, so Brooke asked me to do this team call, like a month and a half ago? And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about, because I feel like, like Brooke said, we've been doing this business for a while. So you get to a point where you've kind of heard it all, and you get to a point where you feel like you've said it all. And so I didn't want to talk about something that was going to be repetitive, but I feel like a really important part of this is you sharing your story and figuring out your story. So before we start, I'm going to ask you guys questions. So I think I can see everybody. So if the answer is yes, I want you to raise your hand. And in my mind, I'm coming up with this exercise on my own. Nobody's ever done it at Super Saturday. And if they have, it came back to me 10 minutes ago while I was making my shake, okay? So if the answer is yes, you raise your hand. And then if it's not, keep your hand down. All right, so are you a Beachbody coach? Okay. Are you a mom? Are you a grandma? Are you a dog lover? Is your favorite color blue? Do you work full time? Are you retired? Nobody? Do you love country music? Is that your favorite genre of music? Is Shanti your favorite trainer? Do you wear glasses? I came up with that one right now as I was seeing you guys. Okay, so I don't know if you were watching that, but the whole purpose of that is not one of you guys all had the same story. So there was no point when you and somebody else had your hand up at the same time throughout all those questions. So I want you to keep in mind that your story, although you may feel like it is the same as everybody else's because you're a mom and you're a Beachbody coach, or you work full-time and you're a Beachbody coach, your story is very different from everybody around you, okay? So keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to come to questions at the end because if I watch that little chat bubble, it will kill me, and we'll never get anything done. So I'll answer your questions at the end. Let me see if the sharing my screen, okay. All right, Brooke, can you see that? Okay, so sharing your story and getting comfortable with uncomfortable, all right? So a lot of what we need to do is open up and talk about the yucky things. I'm gonna forewarn you, there's a lot of the word S-H-I-T in here. So if you have kids in the room, put some headphones on. There's your warning. All right, so I want you to think about what makes you, you. When we're done with this, this is your homework. You're going to come up with a list of your hobbies. You're going to come up with a list of your passions, things that drive you, things that you cannot live without, okay? You're going to come up with a list of your interests. You're going to come up with a list of things that motivate you. All of these things, I want you to create a list of at least 5 things. I want you to come up with a list of things that you do in your everyday life. I want you to come up with a list of skills that you have, a list of things about your family, and if you have a job, to make a list about that. And then just make a list of things that make you happy. So right here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you come up with 5 things in each of those categories, you now have 45 things to post about, just like that. So, you're thinking, okay, there's nothing special about me. All right, well, what are your hobbies? Do you like collecting rocks? I mean, that's not that fun, but it's a hobby, right? So there, you write that down. I'm just kidding. If you collect rocks, that's fine. I was trying to think of something that doesn't really interest me. But so think of your hobbies, think of your passions, go through that list and think of, really sit down and take the time to come up with a list of 5 of those. That's going to give you a really great starting place on where you can start your posts and where you can start posting and what you can start talking about. Because I know life gets repetitive and you're like, oh my God, I've already posted a picture of my kids and my shake 6 times this week. Okay, well, maybe 4 is good, and you can come up with one of those other 45 things to talk about. All right, brainstorm about you. So now that you have that list of all of those things that I mentioned, I want you to think about, get a little bit deeper. Think about things that you've overcome in your life, okay? And it could be something basic like paying for your own college. It could be something very, very hard for you to share. Maybe you have overcome an addiction, or maybe you had struggles with fertility, or maybe you have gone through a divorce. What have you overcome that was hard in your life that you've come out on the other side of? Okay, I want you to think about those things and create another list, things that you've overcome. I want you to think about, what do you love about yourself? Because in this day and age, we're so hard on ourselves. It's so easy for us to look on Facebook and see all of this perfect and say, well, my boobs don't look like that. My butt doesn't look like that. My hair doesn't look like that. So stop thinking like that. And I want you to think about things that you love about yourself and write those down. And I want you to share about those things too, because I was listening to, because I don't read, I was listening to Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes, and she's so, so funny. And I think it's chapter 10. She talks about how she finally is coming to really love herself, but she doesn't want to tell people that she loves herself because she doesn't want to seem stuck up, and she doesn't want people to think like, oh, she loves herself so much. But you know what? F that. Love yourself and tell people why you're awesome. Tell people why they should be following you. Tell people why they should be on your team. What's awesome about you, you guys? Because if your story is all woe is me, blech, nobody's going to want to follow that. Be positive. Be confident in yourself, because there's something to be said about being confident. There's something to be said about loving yourself. It's okay to like yourself. You know what? You guys are all pretty freaking awesome, so you should shout that out. Let people know what's great about you. Where are you now compared to where you started? So this could be in your coaching journey. This could be in your career. This could be as a mom. This could be as a wife. Like anything in your life where you've grown, started at 0 and grown to wherever you are now. Write about that. Write that down. Put that in your list. I want you to think about things that inspire you. This is probably going to be a pretty easy one because I feel like there's just inspiration everywhere. You know, your kids, your husband, your parents, your whatever it is. What inspires you every single day? This one's going to be tricky. What's the number one thing that holds you back? What is the number one thing that holds you back in this business? What's the number one thing that holds you back from posting? Because I know there's some pretty big things that people go through. So what are you holding back for? Are you holding back because it's about somebody else? I know I've shared in the past about my dad being an alcoholic, and that's hard for me to share because it's my struggle, but it's also his life. He's not with us, but you know, I have siblings and I don't know how they feel about me sharing that, but you know what, that's my part of my story, and so I don't bring them into it, and I share my piece of that story. There are probably always going to be other components in your story, so you kind of want to be tactful about how you're sharing the things that, you know, so for me, sharing that thing, what holds me back from sharing it more is my siblings. What's holding you back from sharing those scary things? What excites you? What drives you? What makes you get out of bed in the morning? And then what scares you? What is that thing, again, that holds you back? What physically scares you? What mentally scares you? Like my number one biggest thing is dying. And so every week I have a new damn disease because I'm so scared of dying. And you know, I can make a joke of it because that's just who I am. But there's, you know, what are you scared of? Talk about those things. All of this is content for you to talk about. These are questions. Think of more questions that you guys can share in the team page. If you have some, start commenting on them. Start posting them in here, and you guys can share with each other. What other ways can you brainstorm about yourself? Okay. Document your life. Brooke is so good at this. Everywhere she goes, she's got her camera with her. She's got her phone ready to go, and she takes pictures everywhere she goes. So there's no need to create a story for her because she's documenting everything she does in her life. When you're documenting what's going on.
In the far cabinet where the deep fryer is.
Carrie.
And the bucket that has the candy in it.
Thank you. If you are documenting everything that's going on around you, you don't feel like you have to create a story. You don't feel like you have to come up with something because you're just taking pictures of the things you do. When you go to Target and you leave with a cart full of things and you're like, oopsies, did it again. Or, you know, you snap a picture of that. Or when you go to Costco on a Monday and there's nobody there and it's heaven, take a picture of that, you know, post about it. Your daily activities are going to be what really dictate your day-to-day posts. And it's your job to take those posts and make them worth people's time to read. So you never want somebody to see your post and go, so what? You know, you're not just posting to post. You're posting to give them something. What are you giving them in that post? So I went to Costco today. Nobody was there. It was amazing. It was the best. It was like a dream, literally a dream. There was no one there. And so I should have taken a picture of it and then posted about it and told people, hey, if you don't want to go to Costco when it's crazy, go on Monday at 3:00. And then there's the value I'm giving to people. I'm giving them a little tip. Okay, so as you document your life, you share about it, and you make it worth people's time to read. Okay, give a sneak peek daily. So when you're posting about your trip to the dentist, talk about tooth health. Add value. When you post about your day at the beach, ask about people's favorite sunscreen. You're going to interact with your followers. It drives me crazy, and I'm in a training right now, so we're also learning about this, but it drives me crazy when I see posts and I see comments and people haven't commented back, okay? Think about it. You're taking your time to comment on somebody's post and they don't interact back with you, you know? They say, okay, what's your favorite shoe? Do you like A or do you like B? I like A. So every single person that comments, I say thanks. Or I'll say, oh, you like the colors of B, or just whatever. Just a little comment back to that person makes them feel like what they said to you and the input that they gave you or the question that they answered, that you really appreciate them taking the time to do that. So interact with your followers. You're really just giving a sneak peek of your daily life. And when you do that, make sure that you're also adding a little bit of value to the post. All right, so how do you create your online relationship with your followers? You need to interact with those people. Like I said, when they comment to you, comment back. If you ever go to my page, if you see one, tag me in it, but you'll very, very, very rarely not see me comment back with either an emoji, a thank you, a comment back, a conversation that's going back and forth. Every single post, whether it's Beachbody related or kids related, I am like, hey, yeah, that's so funny. Like today I posted a picture of Piper and people were talking about her hair and I'm like, finally, she has hair, you know, and I'll comment back. And so we're interacting through there. Engage with your followers. Go live. I know Susie, I can't remember who she said. Susie was talking about one of her coaches going live and how she was getting all of this feedback from people. You know, she asked a question earlier in the day and said, all right, if you want to know my answer, check back in here today at 7. And I'm going to tell you my answer. And then people are going back to see what she was saying. Ask people's opinion. They love to give their opinion. Do you like shoe A or shoe B? You could not even want to know about shoe A or shoe B, but it's a way to get to know your people, the people that are following you. It's a way for you to interact with them without really having to think about it. Like I said, comment back. Allow them to see the vulnerable bits of you. So this is what we're going to get into next. It's really easy to share your shake. It's really easy to share how awesome your kids are. It's really easy to share that you're so in love. It's not easy to share the vulnerable pieces of your life that are uncomfortable, that are embarrassing, that are scary, sad, upsetting, whatever, that are not happy. It's not easy to share those things that aren't happy. So here's how we're going to get into that. All right, how to share the shit. Think about something that would be very hard for you to share, all right? I want you to think about it. I'm going to give you, you guys probably all already have something in your mind that's either already been really hard for you to share or that you want to share, but it's like that big thing. So I want you to think about that big something that's going to be hard or that is hard for you to share every time. I want you to take a deep breath, create your post. Think about how you're posting it. Think about the words that you're saying. Think about how people are going to see this. And then share that part of your life on your term, okay? So it's just like, you know, when you're in middle school and you are part of a gossip thing. And maybe it's true, but if you would have been able to be the one that shared that bit of information, it would have been so much better coming from you, right? So you now have control on how you want to share that piece of your story. So I'll go back to my story with my dad. I've shared it a couple of different times, and I've shared it a couple of different ways. Most recently, the way that I shared it was my own fear in knowing that I have alcoholism in my family, and is this something that I should be scared of? I always, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, did I drink too much, or am I doing this too often? Or, you know, you kind of just, you think about those things. And so that was how I shared it last time. The time before that, I think I shared about, gosh, I can't even remember, but it was something about when my dad was alive and maybe like the time spent with him. So I'm sharing my story, but I'm not sharing the whole thing. I'm not talking about really the specific details of my dad and my mom, maybe even their marriage. Like, I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about what my dad being an alcoholic makes me feel, okay? So there's a difference of like, blah, letting it all out, and then just sharing those bits of how him being that way has made me who I am today. You guys see the difference, but from just letting it all out and sharing it on your own terms and over time, slowly, over time. It doesn't have to be one post. It can be one post, but it doesn't have to be a big post. So here's an example of something that would be one post. You buy a $10 Minions balloon for your son, and you get it home and it gets caught in the fan, okay? That's shitty because it's $10 and it's a freaking balloon. But that's one post, okay? So you share that in one post. But the bigger things in life, you take a little more time. You share those bit by bit. All right, why do you need to share the shit? Because nobody wants to see your stupid highlight reel, okay? That's great. Your hair looks good today, Kristen. But you know what? Most days my hair looks like this. So I'm going to talk about my hair looking like this. It's not real for me to just take pictures when my hair is done twice a month. It's not real. It's not relatable. And anybody that ever sees me at freaking Walgreens is like, why's your hair always in a bun when I see you? But on mine, it's like perfect. I know, guys. You're not going to form a connection with people if they don't trust you. And that is the key. You want people to trust you. You want people to feel like they know you. We have followers that are never going to meet us. They're never going to meet us in real life because we're expanding our network. We're adding new people via the internet. So there's going to be people that are following us that we may never, ever meet. It's really hard to make that trust connection if you're not open. If you're just, sharing the good stuff. The posts, you'll see, the posts that get the most traction, the posts that get the most private messages are the ones that are the hardest to hit send on. So you need to share your crap because you want to form a connection with people. You want people to be able to see behind the veil. You want people to see the real you, not just the, I work out, pick the best light so that my arms look good you. All right, what kind of shit is okay to share? All of it. Daily shit, life shit, kid shit, work shit, family shit, poop shit. Those are the good ones. Poop. people love poop. You know, like when funny things happen with your kids, guys, we're not super mom. Nobody thinks we are. So when those things happen, my girlfriend posted the other day a picture of her kids sitting in a pile of Rice Krispies, like everywhere, all over. And they were like, Mom, you want to come to Rice Krispie Land? I'm sure she was so annoyed that her kids dumped a box of Rice Krispies everywhere. But I mean, that's kind of funny. You know, you share it. That's relatable. Like we're in the trenches together. Poop, that I'm telling you, poop is a good one. Like, talk about that if you aren't grossed out by it. But any kind of stuff that is hard, make it funny if you want, like I do, because it's less uncomfortable when I think it's funny. Daily things. So I don't know. I'm trying to think on the fly as I go. Different life things. The big life ones are going to be the hardest ones, but the day-to-day, like follies, is that what it is? Follies. Those ones are a little bit easier to share. You can make it funny. You can tag, have people tag a friend, whatever. The more real you are, the more that they're going to trust you. So we live in a social media day and age. People know when you're being genuine, and they know when you're being fake. They know that rainbows do not come out of your butt, and they know your shit does stink. So talk about it. All right, now, I went and scanned through some pages. This is Cassandra, and this was last week, and Cassandra lost her puppy dog Muffin, and she shared about it. That I'm sure hitting send on this 3 or 4 days later and talking about like what she misses about her dog was not easy. Like, I'm sure she had tears in her eyes when she's doing this. But you know what? We've all had our dog. We've been there, we've been there. And I'm sure that people reach out to her over this because they see she has feelings. Okay. All right, LaDawn. I don't know if LaDawn's on, and I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this, but I think this one was so powerful. LaDawn had a surgery, and instead of complaining about it, she's talking about how she's thankful. She's talking about the changes and where she was and where she's come. Like this, I'm sure, not easy to share. So this is the kind of stuff that you get to take into your own hands, and you get to share it in your own way. Hadley, I love this post. Hadley was talking about a while back, somebody left a nasty comment on one of her posts. And so she goes into talking about her history. And yes, she's thin, but no, that doesn't mean she doesn't struggle. And she's able to share this real talk with her followers. She knows that she is naturally thin, but she also knows that if she doesn't talk about that, people might think that it's just easy for her. So she talks about that it's not easy for her, and that it does hurt your feelings when people say mean and nasty things about you. Courtney has been posting about her son for the last week or so, and a lot of this, not easy to share, really deep stuff that she's sharing about her son and how and the things that they've gone through and the surgeries that he's had. Like, these are the things that make us real to people. These are the things that make us, that, yeah, we work out at 8:30 at night after a long day of work, but these are the things that make us real. These are the things that people are going to say, oh my gosh, I didn't know that about you, or thank you for sharing that. I went through that too. These are the ones that are going to make people trust you. They're going to make people see the real side of you, and they're going to be the hardest ones to post, but they're going to be the ones that really do the most good for your business in the long run of sharing your story. And that is, I think, all that I have. I don't think I had any extras. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. I am going to go to the chat. I don't know if there's, I tried to keep my eyes off of it. Interaction is crucial. Every post. Christy, Christy, I don't know if you're on. I went to your page because I thought it was you, but I didn't see it. All right, does anyone have questions? I feel like I flew through that, but
I have a question.
Yeah.
What? Okay, so like
it was frozen.
Oh, so I struggled with infertility, and I have no problem talking about it to other people because I got help, and I want to share that with other people, but I don't know how to just like start talking about it. You know what I mean?
I would share a picture of Ryan. No, I would share a picture of Ryan and talk about how you got him.
Yeah, Yeah.
Looking at Ryan, you would have no idea that you went through these struggles, you know?
And just-
Talk about what you went through. I would even just start with like, am I freezing? Am I freezing?
No.
Oh, okay. I would even start with, you know, just a picture of him, like I said, and just say, you know, I feel like I have to actually think about what I would say, but just post a picture of him and start sharing your story that way.
Yeah.
You could, does anyone else, you guys chime in if you have any ideas for things like that, because Brooke, I know that's a good one.
Well, I think that might be some of people's thing. Like, I think everybody has stuff, but it's kind of like, how do you start talking about it just randomly?
Right. I think that it's just deciding to, you know. I really think that one with Ryan, I would just share a picture of him, maybe like when he was born, talk about some, you know, a lot of my good friends helped me through this hard time in my life, but not everybody knows this about me. Slowly that way. Let me think about that. Does anyone else have anything while I'm thinking on that one? You guys, do you have any like struggles that you're trying to share about or want to share about, or so Nikki says, exactly, some of my stuff is really big and I'm not the only one involved. So what I would do, like I said, you know, the thing with my dad, I don't talk about my siblings in it. I don't talk about my mom in it. I would love to share about my own like body image stuff, but I feel like that stems from my mom, and so that's a hard one for me to, you know, because I don't want to blame her on the internet, you know. I don't want to but that's part of who I am, you know. Seeing my mom always on a diet as a kid, and trying to always lose 5 pounds and do the next great thing, to me was something, but I haven't figured out my way to share that. And I think it's okay. I think the fact that it's in my mind and I know about it, and maybe I'm breadcrumbing to that, or to my own insecurities, and maybe that's what I talk about, is just my own insecurities about my own body, and it doesn't have to bring my mom into it, you know? You don't have to tell the whole story. You don't have to bring other people into it. At the end of the day, it's your story. You share it how you want to, and if you feel like you need to talk to somebody before you hit send, you talk to somebody before you hit send. Yeah, Mandy, I think that the addictive relationship with food, really powerful one. I would maybe like post a picture of yourself with the donut and tell people how it makes you happy, or, you know, whatever it is, however it makes you feel. When you're anxious, do you have candy? I know, like, after a stressful day, I'm like, oh my God, I need a pack of Sour Patch Kids. And then at the end, you know, it makes me happy for those 10 seconds. And then I'm like, okay, that did nothing. And yeah, post about it, talk about it, because you're not the only one. I think the bottom line is, if you can't find humor in it, it's okay to share. Don't want to bring people down. Positivity. Yeah, I think positivity, but also, like, there's some dark things that you probably can't find humor in. And you find a way to pick out that piece of the story that you're comfortable with sharing. And there may be things in your life that you're never going to be comfortable with, but that's okay. So if you don't want to share those big, deep, dark things yet, you're not there, then when you get a flat tire on the side of the road, you talk about that. When your kid's $10 Minion balloon pops in the fan, you talk about that. When your shake falls on the floor on your way out the door, whatever it is, you know, but you're not always just like, you know, because that's not life. That's not real. Share about that you broke your iPhone screen. I'm like looking around me to think about things that could happen. That your trash, Susie's sister shared the other day that all of her trash rolled down the hill. That was a funny one. And it gets people are like, oh man, you know, your phone screen breaks. Whose phone screen hasn't broken? And if it hasn't, don't wave to me right now, because I don't want to know. You find your thing, you make it funny, you make it whatever you want to make it to your personality, and share about it.
Yeah, that was great, Kristen. That was really
Thanks.
good presentation.
Thank you.
And does everybody understand like why? I think she kind of nailed that home, but that's, so that you can set yourself apart from other people. It's important to get those posts out there. Does anybody have any questions about anything?
Are you guys all going to do your homework and come up with your 45 items?
Yeah.
I'll post those 2 slides in Goal Diggers too, so you have the whole list with the things that you can post about, the post ideas, and the brainstorming about yourself. And if you guys have any other ideas and questions that you can like kind of interview yourself, post them in there so that you can kind of get things going, and we can get even more ideas about what we can post about.
Let's take a picture real quick. Ready? Smile. 1, 2, 3. Oh, my nails are too long. I can't push it. Hold on. I've never had nails in my life, and now I'm having them too long. Okay, hold on. Second screen. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, cool. Who else has questions? How's everybody been doing? I feel like it's been a while since we've been on a call.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
2 things that I would like to learn more about is breadcrumbing properly, so that I'm not doing so many like big long posts where I'm trying to fit everything all in one. Like Kristen said, to do it like kind of efficiently so that you're connecting, and then how reverse engineering works.
Brooke, you want to do the reverse engineering, and I'll start with breadcrumbing?
Sure.
So if you guys haven't heard this term before, it's so weird. It makes me just want bread. But like think about, Hansel and Gretel, and they leave their little trail of breadcrumbs till they get to the witch's house, right? So the end of the road is the witch's house. That's where you want people to get, where they see kind of the whole picture of your life. Probably you're never actually going to do that, because we're going to keep posting, our life's going to keep evolving. So you're giving little bits of your story. I can't even think of like a little breadcrumb that I've left. Do you think of any, Brooke? Okay, I just left one, actually. Right before I got on here, I took a picture of myself with my shake, and I was like, and I said, public speaking makes me feel uncomfortable. Standing at a party where I don't know anyone makes me feel uncomfortable. I'll stand there alone and not talk to anybody. And I said, what I have in this shake to give me liquid courage? You'll never know. Something along those lines. So like kind of leave people hanging. Because it's just a recovery shake, but like it makes them create a question in their mind. Susie's really good at breadcrumbing, really good. Susie, do you have any examples?
I don't, but I just wrote in the comments how, Kristen, you're always so good about posting pictures with your kids and being like, I can't wait to stay home with them one day. Like that, I think, is one of the most powerful breadcrumbs you leave, and you leave it all the time, because it's like you show people that, I'm not fucking around and I'm here for like the long haul. Like, because it shows people that you are in this for the long haul, for real. Like you're not going to quit tomorrow because you're talking about staying home, and you don't do it just once, you do it all the time. Honestly, I can't think of a breadcrumb for myself.
That also shows people, you guys, Kristen saying that I can't wait until I stay home shows that that's possible for anyone, any teacher, and that she's going to make enough money to support her not working. So I think breadcrumbing also is really like putting other messages out there, like within your message. So making sure that like you're really kind of relating it to the business, and how like for her is to stay at home. So she's going to keep putting notes on there, like when they're sick or something, she always says, like leaving them when they're sick is the hardest thing, because we all know that our moms, like, you don't want to leave your kids when you're sick. And so that makes us think like, oh, wouldn't that be nice to not have to worry about that? Like, really, you can do that from coaching, and gets people thinking.
Did that answer your question, Nikki? So basically you're not telling your whole life story in one post. Like every post doesn't have to be 6 paragraphs. You can have a really powerful post that's like 5 sentences if you pick the right 5 sentences. And you're not going to ever get your whole life story in one post. You have bits and pieces here, bits and pieces there. If you go to the dentist, you're thankful for your coaching business because you paid for your crown, whatever it is. Add value in any way that you can.
And I think of breadcrumbing with, especially with like the coaching opportunity, like in every post you do, you're looking for ways to talk about like different components of coaching and what it's done for you. So one might be like the dentist example, like Kristen just gave, or I was able to do this because I had the money. But the next coach might be, or the next post might be talking about the sense of community and our team culture. And one might be like learning to overcome your fears, like speaking publicly because you've like built confidence through this. So just like leaving those little breadcrumbs about every different aspect of the business. So if somebody's looking at the big picture over time, they're like, wow, this sounds amazing because there's all these different benefits.
Brooke, you want to do reverse engineering?
Oh yeah, sure. Okay, so Nikki, let's use you for instance. What is your like 2017 big goal? 2-star diamond? Okay, so 2-star diamond. So we're gonna look at that and we're gonna say if you want to be 2-star diamond at the end of the year, right? You will have to be 2-star diamond 6 weeks before the end of the year in order to qualify for that. So in order to have 2 people go diamond in the next, what month are we in? February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So to be safe, you'll be 2-star by November 1st, right? And that gives you a couple weeks. So now you have 8 months or 9 months to get there. So what you need to do, and this is how you reverse engineer. So you're going to say in 9 months, I need 2 people to pop diamond. So to get a diamond, we've heard that it takes, like if you're gonna invite 100 people, maybe I think it's like 1 in 6. So let's say you invite 60 people. One of those people is gonna go diamond. So, I mean, because not everybody's even gonna sign up, but of the people that sign up, one's gonna go diamond. So then you look at yourself and you're like, okay, well now I need to I'm gonna have to invite this many people because it's a numbers game to the opportunity in order for me to even have the chance that I'm going to have this many people go diamond. Does that kind of make sense? So then you would reverse engineer your goals and you would say, okay, so the first quarter is over March 31st. So by March 31st, I need to have like 10 working coaches so that people start like working and start going towards these goals. You know what I mean? Then by the second quarter, you want to pop a diamond. You want to be 1-star by then. You know what I mean? So your first goal would be go diamond this quarter. Then next goal would be to pop 1 diamond of your coaches. And then the third quarter would be to pop 2 diamonds. And then get your 2 diamonds, make sure they're steady. And then you would have to make sure you have enough active coaches to even hold that rank altogether. So I would divide it up by quarters because I'm reading or listening to, I don't read either, the 12-week year. And it really helps you break it down because if if we wait till the end of the year, then everybody's scrambling and it's very hard to reach these kinds of goals. But if you break it down now and you really think about what you need to be doing, what activities you need to be doing to get to where you want to be, and you get there on a more like throughout the year kind of basis, then it's more doable. And when you go 2-star diamond, you'll have a solid 2-star diamond rather than just like desperation at the end. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you very much.
Yep. Because I don't even know how many active coaches you have to have for 2-star. It might be 12. I don't know off the top of my head. But it's not just the diamonds that have to be active. You have to have a certain number of active coaches in your first business center as well. And for anybody that doesn't know, 2-star is a great goal because you get to open a second business center. And that is when you'll really start to make income because you open a second, like you, Brooke King, second business center on my weak leg, and then more volume rolls up. So if income's your goal, you need to get to 2-star as soon as possible. Does that make sense? Does anybody else have any questions about reverse engineering? But I mean, so if you think about it though, like it's kind of cool. So if your goal is to go diamond, you can sit there and say, here's what I need to do. Here's how many people I need to invite to give myself a chance at going diamond. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of cool. Like I was talking about in the Team Cup group over the weekend is the mindset. We have the ability to control these things, and we know that out of a certain number of people, this number of people are going to work the business, and this number of people will go diamond. Anyone else? No? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for getting on. Kristen really did an awesome job. Yes, you can definitely do your income goals backwards as well. Kristen just commented that. So, and that's a great thing. If you want to reverse engineer your income goals, look at the leadership ladder, because that's going to tell you exactly what you need to have to make a certain amount of money every month. Check out the leadership ladder, and that'll show you exactly. That's a pretty cool tool for that. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for getting on, and thank you, Kristen, for doing awesome. And we will see you guys soon. Be sure it's Team Cup, so just get uncomfortable and just try for 1 month to see what happens. You guys will be amazed at how much like positive, like whatever you get from doing these posts. Like people are gonna thank you for posting that, and it's gonna like make their day to hear that they're not alone and they have someone else to talk to. So get out there and get uncomfortable. All right, guys, have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye.